Welcome to the Scaling with Media podcast. I'm your host, Derek Stupski, and today I've got a really neat guest I'm looking forward to chatting with. We have Abraham Gray, who's a serial entrepreneur, has his hands in tons of different businesses. So looking forward to picking his brain and hearing a little bit more about his entrepreneurial journey. Welcome to the Scaling with Media podcast, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, super excited. So tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. Like, when did it start, and what was the first business that you went after?
I'm 46 years old now. I started my first big business back when I was 15. I was selling baseball cards. So
Nice.
Growing up, I collected baseball cards my whole life. And then I turned it into a business when I was 15 and just started selling them, setting up at shows. And from there, just went on from baseball cards to Beanie Babies, to other collectibles, to, just kept going in different businesses.
Well, you got my curiosity piqued already because I am a big baseball card nut. So what was the biggest valued piece that you moved?
I had a lot of old cards from like the 40s, 50s, and different Mickey Mantles. Michael Jordan rookies back in the '86 were really expensive back when I had them, but it was more quantity than one expensive card. But it was just tons of volume.
Volume. Yeah, man, those Jordan cards now have been blowing up since the last dance came out. So
for sure.
Awesome. So you said that you are 46 now, started your entrepreneurial journey when you were 15. Give us a little bit of a 10,000 foot overview of the businesses that you have started or have your hands in right now.
So, I started with baseball cards. I got into all different types of collectible toys. And from there, I actually got into the jewelry business, and I had a few hundred jewelry stores. I've got, since then, I've been really heavily into entertainment. So I have a whole bunch of escape rooms throughout the country, a lot of axe throwing locations, arts and crafts studios. I'm in the process of opening up some putt-putt golf places. I have some other cool entertainment concepts that I'm working on that should be out 2022 that don't even exist yet. That, once they open in Atlanta, I'll expand throughout the country. I have a lot of trophy stores. And of course, the way I met you many years ago is with the gym business. So I own a lot of gyms, and that's how we met. But I started with one gym, grew it to 3. I was struggling a little bit on the second and third gym. And then, I joined this gym program and, started blowing up the gyms. I ended up buying like 10 more gyms, had over 10 gyms. I've sold some of them since then, but now I still have 5 or 6 that I have. And just always looking at more and more businesses. I bought some trophy stores that do all kinds of different things. Just anything that's profitable. I'm looking at a few other businesses right now.
I love it. So turn back the clock to when you were 15 and you started moving baseball cards and sporting cards, and you said it was about volume. It seems like that philosophy's kind of stuck with you along the way, with you kind of eating up as much as you possibly can when it comes to getting your hands into profitable businesses. So do you do this 100% by yourself? Or are you part of like a partnership group that helps you with finding these deals and closing in on it? Like, give us an idea of what that looks like if somebody wants to become a serial entrepreneur and business owner like you.
So that's a great question. So most of my businesses I have partners in. I'm good at so for every business that you have, whether it's real estate or business, because I do a lot of real estate too. I buy hundreds of homes a year. Everyone's, there's 2 important traits that you have to have. You have to be like the vision, someone has to be the visionary to be able to find the stuff, know what's good. Then you have to have someone to implement everything and be the integrator. So I'm very much the visionary. Like, I suck at the other part. So all my partners are really good at implementing everything and good at the boring side for me, which the stuff I do is the boring side for them. So most of my businesses, I have that other person that helps with the other part. And I think that's very important for anyone, because no one's really usually very good or likes doing both. So you always need the other person. Whatever you're not, you need the other one.
I love that. So getting set up, if you're going to be moving into a partnership or wanting to really spread your wings, like what you've done across the country, you need to have the complementary parts. You can't have like 2 visionaries working together, because I think you're just going to clash and get nothing done. So you need to have the gas and the brakes, right?
And then you need to have like great managers, and you need to have a great team that's working for you.
Yeah. So let's talk about that really quick. What's one of your secrets or things that you look for when you are trying to piece that team together? So when you acquire a new business, you're also acquiring the employees. Do you have like big changes when you take over, or is it more priding yourself on leadership to make sure everyone's on the same page and go from there?
Yeah. So when I buy a business, one of the most important things to me, besides it being profitable and being, around for a while to where I have a good, I could see the previous history, is to make sure that they have a good leadership in place. I don't want to buy a business and then I have to work it. So I always buy businesses that have a good manager in place. And then I change very little because you don't want to change a whole bunch of stuff and scare everybody. So I kind of let them decide like what they think should change. I overview and I pick and choose the things I want to change and do as minimal as possible in the beginning. And then as I build rapport and I get a good relationship with the manager, then we decide together what makes sense to change. But I typically am buying businesses with everything in place, so you don't have to really change too much, or scare people.
So let's talk about from an investor standpoint, someone who is looking to purchase a business, because I know there's entrepreneurs that are probably going to listen to this that are thinking about exiting and they don't want to just close down. They think that their business can be worth something to someone else. And so what are the key things that you look for when you're going to purchase a business? Like, is it cash flow, systems, people? Like what's really important to you?
So the most important thing is how long they've been in business, and that I've seen like a steady increase in their sales. At least I don't want to see declines in their sales over the last few years. So I want it to be profitable. I want to have a motivated seller that has a good reason why they want to sell. I don't want someone just to sell for no reason. I want to know the reason so I could figure out what they are trying to accomplish so I could help them solve their problems of why they want to sell. And then I look for like a good leadership team in place. And again, I'm always looking for motivated sellers, but they're motivated for lots of reasons. Sometimes because they're retiring, sometimes because they're moving, sometimes because they're sick, sometimes because they're getting divorced. So it could be a million different reasons, but once I figure out the reason, I can fit the right structure of the deal to make it, a win-win for everybody.
I love that. I love that. So it makes it feel like they're not just going to be having someone come in and just purchase the property or purchase the business and it's over with. Like mutual respect, it sounds like is kind of a big key and a big part of this whole transaction of buying and selling.
Yeah, and most of these people I buy businesses from have had these businesses for a long time, a lot of times decades, and their business is like their baby to them. So, I don't want to come in and rattle everything. I let them feel really comfortable that, look, I'm going to take care of your business. I'm going to, make you proud, grow it, and keep your reputation good. And that's really important to people. Keep your employees. They love their employees because they've been around them forever. So, I make sure that they feel really comfortable to take care of, besides their business, their employees and their customers as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I love hearing that. So as an entrepreneur, as an investor, with all the experience over the past 30 years or so that you've accumulated, what do you feel is like your top 2 or 3 biggest strengths that you bring to the table? You said you're a visionary, which is obviously pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. But what else do you feel is worth noting?
My biggest strength is just being able to talk. Like I'm super creative. Like that's what my strength is. So I'm really creative. I could come up with lots of different solutions to every problem that like most people can't think of. I'm really good at talking to people and making them comfortable with whatever I want to do and show them why it's beneficial for both of us. And I make sure that everything I do is beneficial for both of us. Like if I come up with a solution that's not good for everyone, I don't even present it because I want everyone to be happy. So I'm just really good at coming up with good solutions, creativity, and making everyone comfortable and just talking. Once you talk to me for a while, you're going to get super comfortable with me and trust me and want to do stuff with me.
I love that. And so did that come natural to you early in your entrepreneurial journey, or is that something that you had to like build up and get better at?
You always have to build it up. I was never terrible at it, but obviously the more I do it, the better I get. So sure. It's definitely something that you want to build up. And, I still have room, everyone, still has room for improvement, even the things they're great at. So, but yeah, you just get better and better at it.
Agreed. So you started with a baseline competency, if you will, of understanding the basics, and obviously the more that you do something, the more efficient and better that you get at it.
For sure.
Awesome.
For sure. So like I started selling baseball cards. I had to deal with customers. So the first times I was selling cards, maybe I didn't say the right things to people, and then I realized, well, shit, I'm not making any money because I didn't say the right stuff. So then I got a little bit better and a little bit better, and then as I started making more money and getting better, I just kept getting better. And then eventually I was able to deal with customers, deal with, other vendors, other business owners, and then, just get better and better all the time.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So when it comes to business owning, entrepreneurship, etc., you talked about having partners that complement you with your strengths. So that's the flip side of the coin is like, what's like the 1 to 2 things that you are not very good at, or you just absolutely despise doing as an entrepreneur?
Anything to do with paperwork, research, paperwork stuff that doesn't use, like, stuff you don't have to be creative with. If you don't have to be creative with it, if it's like just plugging in numbers, putting up spreadsheets, looking over data, that's the type of stuff that drives me nuts. That it's just not, I hate it.
Sure. And so obviously you want to delegate, hire out to get those taken care of so they're not hanging over your head and distracting to the bigger vision of things. So do you find that you are using the same people over and over again? Like, is it a group that sticks together for all of these transactions, or do you hire out per transaction, per move?
I pretty much use the same people over and over because we click good together and we work well together. So, all the stuff I don't like doing is super important. Like if I didn't have someone to do that, the businesses would fall apart. But once you have a good relationship with someone and you work well with someone, just keep doing as much stuff with them as possible.
Love it. I love it. I love it. So with that being said, with as much as you have your hands in, what are some of the biggest challenges that you face, whether it be day to day or looking at it from an overview standpoint? But like, what are some of the really sticking points with having your hands in so many different verticals, so many different industries?
I mean, I would say the biggest challenge is there's so many things I want to do that sometimes because there's so many things, I can't put my 100% into each one. So like I have to now decide, okay, which one's the most important, and then maybe like pass on some or put some to the side for a while. So, I want to do everything that I like doing, and sometimes there's just too many things. So I got to pick and choose my time or where is it best spent.
Yeah, makes total sense. Makes total sense. So last question I like to ask everybody to wrap it up. And that is, if you could go back in time, let's say we go back and we meet you at 15 years old, you just started dealing baseball cards. What's one piece of advice that you'd give yourself?
I would say the most important thing is whatever you want to do, learn from as many people that are good at that thing as possible. So like hang around all the people that are good at what you want to be able to be good at. Learn from them, help them. The more you help someone, the more they're going to help you back. So figure out ways you could give value to whoever that you think could help you, and try to just do it. And, buy as many courses that are worth buying that are in the industry or whatever you want to learn, because you could just get so much better faster instead of, making the mistakes, learning everything on your own, which is important to learn a lot of stuff on your own. But the more you could learn from people that have already done it is invaluable.
The faster you're able to get to where you want to go, as opposed to the ignorance tax of trying to figure it all out on your own.
Yeah, 100%.
I love it. I love it. Okay, awesome. So what I want to do is kind of open the floor to you right now to share where people could get connected with you, where they can find you. Do you have a social media following, a podcast or something along those lines, where people can find you, follow you, look what you're doing from your entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook a lot. Just my name, Abraham Gray, Gray. But anything with business, real estate, I'm really big in. I'm in a lot of different groups. So like I'm in Atlanta, and in Atlanta we have real estate groups, business groups, and I'm very active in a lot of these groups and do deals with people every week. And that's really the easiest way to find me. If you hit me up on Facebook, I'm going to answer you. You can send me emails. But just connecting with me on Facebook. I don't have podcasts or anything else. I do have some masterminds I do a couple times a year, teaching people how to buy businesses and, from A to Z. But the best thing is just hit me up on Facebook.
Love it. Awesome. So if you have any questions, make sure that you are following him on Facebook. The information will be provided with this podcast so that you're able to connect and send him the messages. If you want to learn how to buy and sell businesses, sounds like this could be your guy. So get connected with him, ask him any questions, and we'll take it from there. So is there anything else that you'd like to share before we wrap up?
No, that's it. It was nice talking to you. I appreciate the time. And that's pretty much all I got today.
Awesome. I love it. Well, I appreciate your transparency and being open and sharing your journey with us. And if you found this podcast informative, if you enjoyed it, make sure that you're giving it a like, giving us a subscribe if you haven't already. And we will catch you on the next episode. Bye, everybody.